This is the Scorecard, where you score the latest sports news and in-depth views. I'm Anton Roxas. On the Scorecard tonight, just days after capturing the biggest title of her career, Eala is already focused on her next challenge as the Filipino tennis star begins her National Bank Open campaign in Toronto. NLEX has completed a perfect first round in the PBA Season 50 Governors Cup. But despite remaining the league's only unbeaten team, head coach Jimmy Alapag insists the Road Warriors are staying focused on the bigger goal. The Philippines continued its impressive showing on the international stage after 6 Filipino athletes, led by Yani Alexii Lopez, captured gold medals at the United World Wrestling Asia Grappling Championships in Kazakhstan. Garcia may be the favorite to retain his world title, but former champion Tony Bellew believes Conor Benn has the style to push the unbeaten American to his limits when they clash on September 12. Filipino Mountaineer Rick Rab is setting his sights on one of the world's most elite exploration achievements as he pursues the Explorers Grand Slam. And we'll speak with him live in the studio later in the show. All the headlines and more on the Scorecard tonight, the 5th of August. Now, here's our roundup brought to you by the Philippine Sports Commission, the Philippine Olympic Committee, and the NST-IAC. Eala's historic title run in Washington has already earned her a place in Philippine sports history. But for the newest WTA 500 champion, the celebration has been short-lived as her focus quickly shifts to the next challenge on the tour. Mark Patriarca has this story.
Winning the Mubadala DC Open changed Eala's career, but it does not change her mindset. Just days after delivering the biggest title in Philippine tennis history, 21-year-old Filipina arrived in Toronto, determined to keep her attention on the process rather than the trophy. Despite her historic run in Washington, Eala believes her game is still evolving, and she sees the championship as an important step rather than the finished product.
I enjoy a lot being in these sorts of environments, but there's so many things that I want to work on. There's so many things that I focus on in terms of my progress as a player. So still a really long way for me to go, I think.
Eala's title run included victories over Olympic champion Sheng Qinwen, defending champion Leylah Fernandez, former world number 3 Elina Svitolina, 4-time Grand Slam champion Naomi Osaka, and world number 3 Jessica Pegula. While those wins have transformed their status on the WTA Tour, Eala said she has made a conscious effort to shift her focus immediately to the next tournament, knowing the demands of the tour leave little time to dwell on past successes.
Mine's just been going back and forth between focusing on the next match and wow, did I really just do that? So it's definitely, I mean, it's a first for me, so I'm learning how to handle it. But yeah, I do understand that I'm playing another match tomorrow, so all my attention is going to be on that. You know, I'm slowly transitioning. Well, I have a day to transition, so yeah, and I have, I guess, all my life to celebrate my first WTA title. Yeah.
Eala's next assignment comes at the National Bank Open in Toronto, where she opens her campaign against American Alicia Park, one of the tour's most powerful servers and a player known for her aggressive style of play. A victory would send Eala into the second round of the WTA 1000 event, where she will look to build on the momentum of her breakthrough Washington title as the North American hardcourt swing continues. Reporting for the Scorecard, I am Mark Patriarca, Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Two of the top contenders at the National Bank Open continued their title campaigns after world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka and former world number 1 Iga Swiatek both secured straight sets victories to reach the next round in Toronto. Sabalenka headlined the day's action with a 6-1, 7-5 victory over Japan's Moyuka Uchijima, overcoming a more competitive second set to begin her campaign on a winning note. The top seed, who received an opening round bye, will now turn her attention to the third round as she continues her build-up for the U.S. Open. Earlier, fifth seed Iga Swiatek also booked her place in the third round after holding off Czech rising star Sara Bejlek in straight sets. The Polish star withstood a tough challenge before closing out the match, keeping her bid for a deep run in the WTA 1000 tournament very much alive. NLEX has completed a perfect first round in the PBA Governors' Cup. But despite an unbeaten 6-0 record, head coach Jimmy Alapag says the Road Warriors are staying focused, one game at a time. Here's Zeus Valdez with the details.
NLEX remained the only unbeaten team in the PBA Season 50 Governors' Cup after holding up defending champion TNT 88-83 to complete a perfect 6-0 first round at the Ninoy Aquino Stadium. But for rookie head coach Jimmy Alapag, the milestone isn't something his team is dwelling on. Instead, he said the Road Warriors have embraced a simple mindset since the start of the conference. NLEX had to withstand another late charge from TNT after leading by as many as 17 points before a crucial defensive stop by LJ Gonzalez and Shawnee Winston sealed the victory. Alapag credited his players for staying composed down the stretch, while also praising the defending champions for their fight despite missing several key players.
You know, Talking Tex is a very dangerous team no matter who's on the floor. Obviously, they have a lot of their key guys out, Jason, Aftana, Pogoy. But the guys who are there are still competing at a high level.
The win also carried special meaning for Alapag, who spent more than a decade as the face of the TNT franchise before later serving as an assistant coach under Chot Reyes. Although they had little time to catch up after the game, Alapag said facing his longtime mentor remains a privilege.
It's always an honor when you get a chance to coach against one of the best, right? I think Coach Chot's resume speaks for itself. Not just his success in the PBA, but also with the Gilas programs. It's always an honor to be able, in my young PBA coaching career, to coach against one of the best.
While NLEX stands alone at the top of the standings after a perfect first round, Alapag believes the Road Warriors have yet to accomplish their ultimate goal, choosing to stay grounded as they continue their push for a deep playoff run. Reporting for the Scorecard, Zeus Valdez, Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Blackwater staged a big fourth-quarter comeback to snap a 3-game losing streak, erasing a 9-point deficit to defeat Phoenix 106-100 in the PBA Season 50 Governors' Cup at the Smart Araneta Coliseum. Kentrell Barkley led the charge with a dominant double-double of 34 points and 16 rebounds, while Cedric Bearfield added 26 points as the Bossing outscored the Fuel Masters in the final period to end their losing skid. The victory gave Blackwater a much-needed boost after dropping 3 straight games, while Phoenix failed to hold on to its late advantage. Meantime, San Miguel Beer bounced back from its overtime loss to TNT with another explosive third-quarter performance, pulling away for a 126-114 win over a struggling Converge squad. The Philippines delivered another strong performance on the international stage after Yani Alexii Lopez and 5 other Filipino athletes captured gold medals at the United World Wrestling Asia Grappling Championships in Astana, Kazakhstan. The impressive haul highlighted the country's continued rise in the sport against some of Asia's best grapplers. The multiple gold medal performance further boosted the Philippines' campaign in the continental meet as the national team continued to show its depth and competitiveness on the Asian stage. After a grueling 32-hour journey, the Alas Pilipinas girls have arrived in Santiago, Chile, ready to compete in the FIVB Under-17 Girls World Championship. Head coach Edwin Leyva said the team used the long trip to rest, recover, and strengthen its bond as it prepares to face some of the world's best young volleyball teams. The Philippines will open its campaign in Pool B against Mexico before also taking on China, Peru, Tunisia, and Venezuela as the young Filipinas aim to make a strong impression in their World Championship debut. A debate over the Golden State Warriors dynasty spilled onto social media after Kevin Durant made comments about former teammate Klay Thompson. While comparing the current Philadelphia 76ers to the Warriors teams he played on, Durant argued the Sixers have the more accomplished roster on paper, noting that Thompson had never been an MVP candidate in the NBA. Thompson responded online, appearing to take a lighthearted shot at Durant, while former Warriors teammate Draymond Green also joined the exchange. The online spat has reignited debate over the Warriors dynasty, with fans once again weighing individual accolades against the 4 NBA championships the former teammates won together. Ryan Garcia may enter his September 12 world title defense as the favorite, but not everyone believes the fight against Conor Benn will be one-sided. Former world champion Tony Bellew warned that Benn's consistent pressure, aggression, and work rate could create problems for Garcia, especially if the British challenger is able to close the distance and turn the bout into a physical fight. Despite that assessment, Bellew still believes Garcia's speed, timing, and counterpunch him make him the more complete fighter, provided the WBC welterweight champion performs to his potential. Garcia will defend his title against Benn on September 12 at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, with the highly anticipated showdown expected to be one of the biggest boxing events of the year. The Philippine Football Federation has reaffirmed its support for FIFA President Gianni Infantino, stressing that developing football nations need more resources to continue growing. In a statement, the PFF said countries like the Philippines stand to benefit from greater investment, adding that it welcomes any serious effort to expand financial and technical assistance to FIFA's 211 member associations. The PFF, however, also recognized the concerns raised by UEFA, CONCACAF, the Asian Football Confederation, and other member associations, saying proposals with major structural and financial implications should be subject to open consultation. FIFA has since withdrawn its proposed FIFA Forward Enterprise, a plan that would have created a new commercial entity to help generate additional revenue for the global game. Up next, he has already stood on the summit of Mount Everest, but Filipino mountaineer Rick Rab believes his biggest challenge is still ahead as he pursues the Explorers Grand Slam in a bid to become the first Filipino to complete the prestigious feat. We'll find out what continues to drive him to push the limits of human endurance when we return right here on The Scorecard. He has already etched his name in Philippine mountaineering history after reaching the summit of Mount Everest. Now, Filipino mountaineer Rick Rab has set his sights on an even greater challenge, becoming the first Filipino to complete the Explorers Grand Slam, a feat achieved by only a handful of people worldwide. Joining us tonight to talk about his next expeditions and the demands of elite mountaineering is Filipino mountaineer Rick Rab. Rick, maraming salamat and welcome to The Scorecard.
Maraming salamat din, Anton, at magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat.
Rick, you've already summited some of the highest summits in the world. Of course, Mount Everest, Aconcagua, Elbrus, and Kilimanjaro. What inspired you to take on the even bigger goal of completing itong Explorers Grand Slam, a feat which no Filipino has ever achieved?
Well, just like in real life, Anton, we always set objectives and incrementally mas mahirap or mas challenging. And for me, this is a personal challenge also to show to my family, especially to my children. And I think people can relate na when you set challenge to yourself, it should be incremental also. So there's no other way in my case than to move forward, and this is the next step.
All right. Of all the mountains you've climbed so far, though, which expedition tested you the most? Physically, mentally, or emotionally? And what did that experience teach you?
In fact, all of them are the most difficult, I would say, because in life, or in my experience on mountaineering, mountains of different levels of difficulty, and they have different personalities also. So that means when I train specifically for that condition. So essentially, that's my upper limit also. And then once you reach that, you plan the next level, and then obviously you realize you have to push your limits or envelope further. So essentially, respect to all mountains. They really pushed me to where I am now.
Rick, before the show started, we were talking and then I asked you what was your latest climb. Sabi mo, yung Denali, the one in Alaska, tama po ba?
Yes, that's
so,
right.
Kamusta naman po yun?
Okay, so it's a two-pronged objective why I went to Denali. So, budget-wise, so limited. So, ang ginawa ko muna, sumali ako sa group climb to learn more about the mountain and understand the weather, because ultimately the plan is to go there unguided, climb it through split boarding and going down snowboarding.
Okay. So after Denali, ang next nyo po is Karstens. This is closer. This is in Asia po ba, yung Karstens? I was looking it up earlier.
Yeah, it's in the border of Papua New Guinea and Indonesia.
Okay, so while you're setting your sights on the North and South Poles, like how different are these expeditions compared to Everest and the other summits you've already countered?
Okay, so as I had mentioned earlier, mountains have personalities, and they are changing also depending on the season. And aside from that, one of the reasons also why I go there on different mountains to learn the different climbing cultures. So, for example, in the Alps, the climbing culture there is we don't have fixed line. We do it like a dynamic climbing with your climbing partner on ropes. So we go together in synchrony. So this is where we have this expression: if he falls to the left, you jump to the right. And as compared to the Everest, you have these elite Sherpas who set the lines for you. So all you've got to do is only jumaring, going up and up. Yeah. And obviously, for example, as I have seen in YouTube, for example, yung Puncak Jaya, it's like a wall and rock, and I'm used to climbing on the walls, especially via ferratas. Yeah. So,
all right. There. Earlier, Rick, you talked about yung kailangan mo rin ng budget, the financial aspect of scaling these mountains. So you described this project as yun nga, financial. There's the mental, physical, and the time aspect. Which of those has been the most difficult to overcome as a mountaineer, and how have you managed to keep pursuing this dream of continuing to scale these mountains?
So, as I was consulting with other mountaineers, especially those who've got to Mount Everest, they always told me, Rick, ang pinakamahirap dyan yung financial. And it is true. I mean, I train for mountaineering and I have no experience with marketing. And in fact, as I had indicated earlier, this is the first time I'm making public that the project is 7 summits plus 2 poles.
Wow. Hindi ka ba kinakabahan that you're making it public right now? Or like,
No,
does it motivate you even more?
In fact, I'm sharing it publicly because I'm not worried if somebody would be first other than me. The idea there is it could be like a crowdsourcing activity, because, I mean, everybody goes to the same mountain, but they come on a different times, on different weather, and on different conditions. And sometimes you're not even in a 100% physical condition. So, having said that, it's better to open that in public, and then we can have like a crowd source of idea and techniques and challenges, and maybe hopefully it will open up ideas for future climbers, that we should break this glass ceiling of why only 7 summits. I mean, our previous climbers, they also dream of 14 summits, and why not? I mean, there's more to climb and there's more to dream on.
And I'm guessing that matters when you decide to climb the mountain, because we were talking earlier, the weather is a crucial factor in the climb.
Obviously, we're not yet. Obviously, we're not yet God, so that's a really big factor to consider.
All right, Rick, beyond the records and the summits, what message do you hope Filipinos, especially yung kabataan, will take away from your attempt to become the first Filipino to complete itong Explorers Grand Slam?
Isa sa mga realization ko, every time I go higher and higher, is there's really more than what we know of ourselves. Sometimes I came to think that we're so urbanized na we fail to realize ano yung power ng katawan natin. So if you go out there, try to push yourself, try to connect with the environment, the more you will realize that the power that we have in here is, one, parang ina-activate natin yung mga naka-off na genes natin dahil masyado na tayong dependent, halimbawa sa kotse or sa mall for shopping. Once you remove these quote-unquote pleasures, talagang ma-realize mo na kayang-kaya mo talaga, and you can still push further. That's one. And number two, yung connection natin with the environment. The more you connect to the environment, the more you feel that we're just like tuldok lang, and the more that we should love and protect our environment. And yeah. So, having said that, wala tayong planet B. So hindi mo mamahalin ang kapaligiran kung hindi mo siya kilala eh. So yeah, you really have to go out and learn more about that.
Well, it's out there. You mentioned it. This is your goal, and we wish you all the best, Rick,
Maraming
as you
salamat, Anton.
hope to become the first Filipino to complete the Explorers Grand Slam. Good luck, Rick, and thank you for sharing your story with us here on the Scorecard.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and maraming gabi po sa inyong lahat.
Rick Rab with us here on the Bilyonaryo News Channel. Coming up next, Eala returns to the court with revenge on her mind. Fresh off her historic first WTA title, the Filipino tennis star faces Alicia Parks, the American who eliminated her at the Australian Open. Can Eala keep her hot streak alive and take the first step toward a deep WTA 1000 run? We'll break down that matchup when we return right here on The Scorecard. Welcome back to The Scorecard. It's time to keep your eyes on the prize. So after a dream week in Washington, Eala's next challenge is a familiar one. The newly crowned DC Open champion opens her 2026 National Bank Open campaign in Toronto against American power hitter Alicia Parks, the same player who eliminated her in the first round of the Australian Open last January. But that match told two different stories. Eala dominated the opening set 6-love, but Parks responded with her trademark power, taking the next two sets 6-3, 6-2 to complete the comeback. The 25-year-old American, currently ranked world number 71, is known as one of the tour's biggest servers, capable of hitting winners from anywhere on the court. She booked her rematch with Eala after a straight sets win over Victoria Jimenez Kazakhstan in the opening round. And now she stands in the way of Eala once again. But this isn't the same Alexii Eala that Parks faced 7 months ago. The 21-year-old Filipina arrives in Toronto playing the best tennis of her career. She is now world number 20, the 25th seed of the tournament, and enters the WTA 1000 event fresh off her first ever WTA Tour singles title in Washington. Now, during that remarkable run, Eala defeated Olympic champion Qin Wenzheng, defending champion Leylah Fernandez, and topped a star-studded field before rallying past Jessica Pegula in the rain-delayed final to make history as the first Filipina to win a WTA Tour title. Now, the challenge is to keep the momentum going. A victory over Parks would not only avenge her Australian Open loss, it would also send Eala into the third round where a possible showdown with world number 7 Linda Noskova could await, provided the Czech star also advances. With her match moved to center court and a sold-out crowd expected featuring a strong Filipino presence, Eala says she hopes to give her supporters a joyful experience as she continues her build-up to the US Open. One thing is certain, this is more than just the first match in Toronto. For Alexii Eala, it's a chance for redemption and another opportunity to prove that her breakthrough in Washington was only the beginning. And with that, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow on The Scorecard, where sports is our business and business is our sport, on the Bilyonaryo News Channel. This is Anton Roxas. Have a blessed evening, everybody, and good night.